Virgo Mercury, another one of the brainiacs. This is a great position to have. It means that you can pretty much handle anything, especially if it's in the details. It's not a devil that's in the details, it's a Virgo Mercury that's in the details. While other people get their ego kind of behind their ideas, like the biggest ideas, the best, Virgo Mercury is more than happy to be the Switzerland of minds and just pick up the pieces and quietly make more money than everyone else by finishing things and doing all the tiny detail work instead of coming up with the large concepts. They are more than happy to do the more practical day-to-day activities with their mind. This is why they make amazing CFOs, accountants, assistants, researchers, the number 2 position, where there's the CEO and he's like, I've got the best ideas in the world, hey, and charming everyone. And number 2 is they're just handling everything. They don't really have to spend a lot of energy on winning people over. They just are more work-oriented. And they really like to have their schedule set. They don't like to have surprises come up. They're more of like the 9 to 5 kind of mentality. They've already got every single hour of their day blocked away for different activities. They're not going to give you any extra. But when they are dedicated to whatever project they have agreed to, they're 100%. There's really no one else that can do the job as well as they can. They do not like to be micromanaged. If you give them a task, they want to be able to just do it their way, and they will do it the best. They won't make any excuses. They'll just deliver. It's all about the results. Virgo Mercuries are always high in demand in the workplace because they really are so great at achieving results. There's just no drama. It's just get the job done and do it well. They're very good with facts and numbers and spreadsheets, making sense of the madness that is paperwork. They might have invented paperwork. One negative about having a Virgo Mercury is that you can get a little neurotic. You worry a lot. You're looking at the glass half empty. That means you're worrying about fixing the problems. You're worrying about filling in all the little details and not leaving any stone unturned. So that can make you a little anxious. A Virgo Mercury is what happens while the rest of us are obsessed with finding the meaning of life or obsessed with our own ego. They just seem to be quietly handling everything. Step-by-step thinking that always leads to results. Simplicity, not making things more complicated than it needs to be, but also not avoiding all of the true details that have to be wrapped up. A very specialized mind and a very perfectionist mind. That perfectionism is also part of that anxiety. It can be hard to have a perfectionist mind when the world isn't perfect, but you will do your darndest to make that happen. Another positive of a Virgo mind is that while other people pick up a skill and then take it only 90% and then get bored and move on to the next thing, Virgo Mercuries always take it the long haul. They want to finish, they want to get specialized, they want to be the best, and they're not going to give up until they become the best. They want to know every single thing about that particular field that they're in. I find that they're usually very clean people. Of course, you have to look at the rest of your chart, but they tend to be very orderly. They don't like anything out of place. Because of that kind of glass half empty mentality, they could be pretty funny because their sense of humor is very dry. They laugh at the truth about the day-to-day. They just call it how they see it. It's just that very deadpan kind of presentation. Their voices are often very monotone, yeah, it is what it is, kind of that Eeyore kind of style, which could be pretty funny. While everyone will be freaking out about something, they're just yeah, that kind of sucks. They were expecting it. They knew it was happening. And they think it's funny that everyone else is running around like chickens with their heads cut off. They feel like everything should be under control. They don't want anyone to get in the way of their system. They have extreme focus. Anybody that takes that focus away, it's just a nightmare for them. Because of this obsession with perfection, it can be kind of a cool thing to take on a creative project because, creativity, there's no way to make it perfect. This might be a nice yin to the yang here where you are able to experience a different mentality from time to time, help to de-stress. They're also usually not procrastinators. They really aren't focused on just the big picture. They're very realistic. They're going to go step by step and enjoy that process. They're usually good at more logical topics, math or science or something technical. Sometimes people don't get their sense of humor because they're just not expecting it. because a Virgo Mercury comes across usually as very serious. So when they're making a joke, it's interesting to see who notices. In this position, I think of Bridget Jones's Diary. I think of the Darcy character. He is totally a Virgo Mercury. And it's funny to see that relationship. Her character is Gemini Mercury, and he's a Virgo Mercury. So they really don't always see eye to eye, which is kind of why they're interested in each other. Their voice is usually very precise. It can be kind of slower, more matter of fact. Sometimes they come across as more timid or humble. Their voice is usually pretty calm. They can speak free of emotion and speak very logically. And this could be a great thing at a time of crisis because you need somebody to kind of keep everybody level-headed. They come across as very intelligent and very mature, but sometimes their voice can be sounding stiff or a little robotic because they don't have the emotions wrapped into the voice, which can make it hard for the rest of us to gauge what they're feeling. So if you're a Virgo Mercury, you might need to clue everybody else in to what you're feeling because there's not as many context clues as there are for a lot of the other Mercury communication styles. All right, hope you guys like my take on Virgo Mercury. Come back for the next video and subscribe.